This is why most people quit guitar. And you know what? It's all a lie. You don't need any of this. All you need are 8 chords, and today we're going to start with our very first 2, C major and A minor. So if you're a new student or you haven't played in a while, you're in the right place. Let's grab our guitars. Let's get going. All right, so let's dive into learning our very first chord, C major. But before we start to play that chord, we need to learn how to read what's called a guitar chord chart. So on our chord chart, we have 6 lines. Each line will represent a string. The one line that is furthest to the right is the first string. And then we have the second string moving from right to left. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they're numbered 1 to 6 from thinnest to thickest. Now, these metal strips here are what separate the notes on the guitar. And we have frets that are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the space between them, that's where we press our fingers. And when we're pressing, we have to arch our finger to get a note to sound. And also, it's important to note the easiest way to get a note to sound is to press closer to the metal part. All right, let's start with our very first chord, C major. So to play the C major chord, we're going to take our first finger and we are going to press down on the first fret of the second string, remembering to press close to the metal part. So while arching and pressing close to the metal part, we're going to take our second finger. We're going to find the 4th string, 2nd fret, remember 1, 2, and we're going to press close to the metal part. Once again, arching our finger. And the next finger we need, the last finger we need, is the 3rd finger, which we are going to reach over. It's a little bit tricky to reach over while these 2 are pressing down. Remember, press close to the metal part. It doesn't matter if you're pressing close to this metal part or this metal part. Just press close to a metal part. It typically takes less pressure that way. And then we're going to take our guitar pick and we're going to strum from the 5th string all the way down. Now, if at any point you're hearing muted or buzzed out strings, it usually means that the fingers are not pressing hard enough or they're not arching and pressing close to the metal parts. Another little tip here, if you pull against the neck instead of squeezing, it's actually easier to play if you pull against the neck. So even if you're holding all the notes down and they're sounding out clear, but something doesn't quite sound right, I do have a great video. It's probably the truth that your guitar is probably out of tune. I have a great video on how to tune your guitar. Be sure to look at the link in the description and check out that video. Also, it's worthy to note that if you're new to holding the guitar pick, I also have a great video on that. We want to hold the pick between our thumb and our first finger. All right, moving along to our next chord, A minor. Good news, the A minor chord is a very easy chord to play if you're still holding down that C major chord, because 2 and 1 are exactly the same. 2 and 1 are the same, moving from C major to A minor. All right, so with 2 and 1 down already, remember the first finger is on the 2nd string 1st fret, 2nd finger is on the 4th string 2nd fret. We're going to lift the 3rd finger while leaving these down, and we're going to find the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Once again, arching, pressing as hard as you can, pull against that neck for added strength, and strum from the 5th string. And there you have it. There's your A minor chord. All right, so now let's practice switching between our first 2 chords, C major and A minor. It's one thing, by the way, to learn a chord, and it's one thing to get our fingers to press a note, but it's a whole other thing to switch between them because it takes time for the fingers to move and switch one to the other. All right, so we're going to start with our practice drill. We're going to strum C major 2 times, and then A minor 2 times, and then we're going to repeat it. Now, I'm going to count to 4, and then we're going to start playing together after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold C major. 1, 2. Now switch to A minor. 1, 2. Let's repeat that. 1, 2. Switch to A minor. 1, 2. Very good. Now, your fingers might feel a little bit clumsy at first. This is normal. Typically, students will struggle moving from one chord to the other because they want to lift all their fingers up. Remember, the brilliant part about these 2 chords is that two of the fingers stay the same. It's the best way to learn your chords at first, and your chord switching is to learn them in sets where fingers stay the same, one chord to the other. Alright, so at this point you may want to pause the video here and practice this for a little bit before moving on. Repetition is the key when you're learning guitar because your fingers need to understand what your brain's telling them to do and your fingers need to get stronger. So you may want to spend a little bit of time just practicing going 2 strums for each. Just going back and forth. Also, at this point, your fingers are going to get a little bit sore and your hand may start to get a little bit tired. So you may want to stop and do this little stretching exercise I like to do with kind of stretching all of the different parts of the finger and also shaking out the tension in your hand. Alright, so as promised, we're going to be learning our very first song. We're going to be learning how to play a song called Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. This song, for the verse section, uses the 2 chords C major and A minor. Alright, so this song happens to be in 6. It's in 6/8, but that just means we're going to be strumming 6 times for each chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to switch from C to A minor. So let's play this together. We're going to start with the C chord, so let's get our C chord ready. I'm going to count to 6 and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A minor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's important to know, use down strums for this. We're not strumming down and up, and just focus on how the fingers are moving one to the other. So remember, C major to A minor, we only have 1 finger switching, so it should be a fairly easy switch. Also, just know that you may have to stop and relax your hand from time to time because this does put a little bit of pressure on your fingertips if you don't have calluses yet. Congratulations, you just played your very first song and learned your very first 2 chords, C major and A minor. Now, this is how real musicians start, by mastering simple chords that unlock everything and applying it to a song. Now, up next in the next lesson, we're going to learn our next 2 essential chords and another real song. So if you want to improve even faster, subscribe now and keep the momentum going. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.